This is kitchen area. I have some slide out leaks. So if you look back in there, you can see the plumbing. There's it. And there's more part inside of this access hole, and actually it's on the other side. This is the side of my slide wall. And this is some extra cabinets and stuff. And inside of this wood panel, you would find some flexible drain hoses having a curve from here to here. And that curve, after 20 some years of flexing in and out, has been a little bit leaking. It's not to the point that it's immediate concern, but I think it's time to fix this. And let's see how we do it. The first thing, I need to get some more access. We had 3 drawers, top and middle and bottom. I have removed all the drawers, and I removed 2 of the drawer rails and 1 more left. I also removed this partition here, just like one on the top. This one I left so I can show you how I did all these. And also the drawer slide out, will remove them on the camera, and the others have been done already. So here we go. So this is the partition that used to go here like this. It's pretty tight fit. It took me a little bit of force to remove that. Now I need to remove this one. There's 4 countersink screws, and go like this, and 2 more on the other side. I need to loosen and remove the screws in order to remove this partition. Oh, by the way, it is a square bit. I believe it's number 2 square bit. Okay, the 4 screws are loosened. All 4 screws removed. This needs a little bit of twisting to move out. Like I said, it's a tight fit. They do a good job on these cabinets. And then it's those 2 rails. Be very easy. Just 1 screw on each side. So if you would look inside there, this is the end of this is in a plasticky thing. Just loosen this screw and pull it right out. This area is open up, so I can stick my whole body inside in order to access the plumbings in there. I forgot to mention, see all these exposed metal? There used to have my slide out fascia that I removed because there's also some slide out leaks that I need to address, but that's another story. Here, it also actually helped me to access the plumbings inside here because the fascia is about this much wide. With the fascia on here, I can barely fit my hand in there, but definitely no tools, nothing can go in there. But with the fascia removed, my hand can go in and out very easy, and thus give me better access to fix my plumbings. Actually, I think that's the only way. This 2000 Monaco Windsor, they didn't really think of that part ever need to be accessed or fixed, but apparently they do after 20 years. Later year models would have a better access door right about in this area, so you can remove that and easily fix stuff. I removed 11 screws in the back of this panel here, but still does not come out. I tried to use a rubber mallet to hammer from the behind, and it just doesn't move. So I have identified the reason is this panel is from about this point to the deck right here. And then you can see we have the tile in the way here. So it cannot come straight out like this. Rather, it needs to tilt out a little bit like that and then somehow be lifted up. But the thing is, the top is so tightly mated together. There's just no room for it to tilt out, if that makes sense. So what I need to do is cut about a 1/4 inch on top of here. Just this panel, cut a 1/4 inch off, and then from there I can probably hammer it out. And let's see how that works. So I'm a little nervous here. I need to have steady hands. Otherwise, if my hands move a little bit, it probably turns out ugly. And this is my circular saw. I set it to about 3/4 of inch depth, so I don't cut tubes or the wires in the behind. And then this is my vacuum, because I don't want sawdust everywhere inside the coach. So I'll try my best to control dust. And on the top, that's our fan, max air fan. That's to help out any small dust as well. It's set up to full power right now, and here we go. You might have seen some sparks coming out, so I think there might be one more screw inside here, which is preventing me to remove this panel. Let me see if I can remove this screw before we proceed. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I finally removed this panel here. Look at this. It's not plywood, it's a solid wood piece. You gotta admire the quality of the cabinets. Well, finally I have a very big access. Now it's enough for me to do anything I want. Well, you might see this video only a minute or two, but it took me a few days to get to this point, removing this panel. And you can see it's mostly undamaged. Cut a little bit on top. Well, I might sand it to make it look a little bit better, but no big deal here. And let's see how it works. So yeah, some water damage on the bottom. Well, not terrible. I mean, it's still okay, but yeah, some damage for sure. I'll try to sand it and put some polyurethane. But let's see how it was put on there. See this? There is the 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 screws on this side and 4 screws on this side. 4 screws on top. You know, that's not all. Guess what? It also has 4 screws that goes from this pillow here to this panel through these holes. The 4 holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, going from that pillow to the panel. That's why it was stuck in there, and it took me a week to remove this panel. My access is incredibly small. See, I only have this drawer area and a little bit area here and a little bit inside here. I was working on this and take my whole body inside and then twist and then reach my hand back like this. In 5 minutes is okay, but 10 hours like this, well, I'm exhausted. I will probably remove this panel. It looks like it's damaged, and yeah, see, it has staples, stapling from this panel here to this outside panel. So yeah, it was incredibly difficult to remove, and I will probably cut off this plywood and then replace with another one here. So I cleaned up the carpet and cut away this carpet here. As you can see, this wood was definitely damaged and it still feels a little bit damped. I will use a hair dryer to try to dry this area. The water damage has propagated from behind this panel here to underneath these tiles, and well, because the wood floor has been compromised, so this tile lost its strength, and after stepping on and moving and shaking, the grout has failed. Like here you can see there's a ever so slight crack here on the grout. This tile is actually good, but this one, it was as you can see, the water has gone to about this point here, so I had to remove this tile to dry out the floor. In the process of hammering and chiseling, like removing the grout here, I accidentally break this tile. I think it might be very difficult not to break the tile while removing it. But anyway, I'll try to find some replacement tiles and then put it back. But first thing, I need to dry out the floor. I sawed off the ABS plastic tube right here, and as you can see there's some burrs on the edges which will prevent the hub going on. So I need to smooth out these burrs. So on the top here, I have prepared this connection. I wrapped it around with some plumber's tape, and then also clean up the threads right here. And then so basically just screw that in to be easy. Yeah, it goes in just like that. Now the last one that came out, it was extremely tight. I don't want to make it that tight. Basically just hand tight should be plenty enough. And in the bottom, as I showed you earlier, I roughened up these edges, also slightly made the diameter smaller. The hub here, I also roughened the inside edge. Now what I need to do is use some primer first and then use the glue to glue this onto there. What's wrong? This primer is actually not for ABS, and this fitting is ABS. But this cement is for ABS, so I'm just gonna use this cement. Well, application should be straightforward. Just apply the cement around this hub. I want to apply a little bit onto this hub connection. So the bottom is not reachable, so I'm just gonna put it a bit generous on this hub only. So let's see how it works. So twist a little bit. Yeah, it should be sealed. So this part is done now. So now the connections are prepared. I screwed in this connector in the bottom just like this. This end will attach the spa hose, and this end is screwed into the ABS plastic. So the top one will need to go in as well. I have a rug here. Let me remove this. Align the threads and go in just like that. Hand tight should be plenty enough, and it's not pressurized. Non-pressurized the sewer. To do some heat treat on this spa hose is just very difficult to work with. So I used a heat gun to blow hot air inside the tube to soften it up, and then I stick that into that fitting over there as well as the fitting down in here. What else I also did is rolled up some duct seal, make it like a noodle, you know, and then stick it around this connection to make it a temporary seal. And then I will going to run some water into the drain just to see if the connections, I mean the ABS pipes, leaks or not, and then overall how does it work. So I have put the plumbings in place now and have sealed the spa hose using duct seal for a temporary seal. And now I will put on some napkins, paper towels around the connections just to see if it will leak or not. So test leak is easy and apparently high-tech. So this end was slightly cracked. This connection here, elbow, underneath was cracked. So you may be able to see some patch up work. Put a napkin under this. So this end has been wrapped around this screwed connection. I'll put a napkin underneath. A top connection right inside. Okay, now the napkins and paper towel are in place. I will start putting up some water inside the drain. I have sealed this main sink over here just in case water gets in. And we still need to use the kitchen sink, so this is what I do. Hear that water going through all those pipes and going in. For now, I have not seen any leaks. Looks like okay. Here also, I haven't take off those paper towels yet. I'll continue use it a day or so. If it works out, I will glue the spa hose into the ABS pipe, and we'll call that done.